I need somebody to tell me if I'm wrong or not. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Loose Change. It's your boy, the Show Off. Check it out. Tell me if I'm wrong. All right. Don't y'all think the level of what a man puts out should match the stage of the relationship? Whatever stage the relationship is in, don't y'all think that should match up to what he's actually required to do? For instance, y'all make it sound like, oh, a man don't want to do nothing for me, this, that, and the third. To me, I believe that as long as we're dating, and as long as you're saying, yo, we cool, whatever the case may be, and we not boyfriend and girlfriend and this, that, and the third, I think the level of responsibility that I have, as long as we're in that space, is for me to pay for the date. So calling me to ask me to help pay your rent and pay your light bill and water bill, like, why in the world would why in the world should I be paying your rent? Like, you pay rent where you live, where you stay. You pay rent and mortgage where you live and where you stay. Alright? If you were to pay her rent and lose your shit, you know she would look at you and tell you, fellas, y'all know what? For so long, we made this shit okay, y'all. For so long, we made this shit okay. And I ain't going to even sit here and act like I've never done it before. I'm a very honest person. I've done it before. I've paid certain bills for people or whatever the case may be. Phone bill, gas bill, water bill. I ain't never paid nobody's rent. I don't give a fuck. But it's really no different. And there's no excuse for the shit. And me and a couple of those people wasn't even I wouldn't even consider that we were even seeing each other. We went on a couple dates or whatever the case may be, but there was no talk of seeing each other exclusively, or in one case we hadn't slept together, we hadn't done anything. But people take advantage, and I hate to say it like this, but a lot of times those are temperature takers. All right? And the fact that most of us actually react wrong because you don't want to see somebody that you like. You don't want to see them in a position where their lights are off or whatever the case may be. You don't want to see them in a position where their water's cut off or something like that. But then they, like, when you come through like that, they know exactly who you are. They know your heart. And once you come through like that, and here's the thing, this is the reason why I'm saying this. They know you shouldn't be doing it. You understand? That's why you have so many women coming to your inbox, because they think they're so special that they've never said anything to you in the past. You may have complimented her and she ignored you or whatever the case may be, and she come to you with this humble ass story about how life is and what's going on with her and all of this stuff, and she tells you that she needs you to pay she needs some money to pay a bill, or she needs some money, or she needs some gas money, or she needs whatever, because in her mind she knows that you shouldn't do it. And even these women who come through and ask you, y'all are dating, they like, even if you're fucking, and that's why I tell ladies, be sure be sure about people. Take time, date somebody, but date them. Don't think that you deserve shit. Like, only thing you should be checking for is the effort. Making time for you, spending time with you, doing little special things, That's the only thing that you should have prerequisites on. Niggas paying your bills and shit like that. Y'all don't understand that person paying your bills is really like marriage shit. But you asking someone you haven't even made it to being their girlfriend yet. So the chart that I've always gone under, and I don't give a fuck how times change, it just is what it is. While we're dating, the only responsibility I have to you is the dates. Like, I'm gonna go above and beyond to make those things special, but we're not gonna go finish going out to eat. I spend $150 on food, and then you say to me, I don't know how I'm gonna pay my light bill, and then I'm gonna come back and kick out another $150 for your light bill. No. And then once we get into a relationship and we're boyfriend and girlfriend, all right, as far as I'm willing to go is to help you out on the bill. I'm not gonna pay the whole bill. But ladies, can you understand if I'm like, nah, I can't. I got my own shit over here. Because the moment that I have my own shit, and let's say I lose my shit, like I said earlier, you're gonna be looking at me like, women love to say shit like, niggas don't even be having their own place, and like, that's going to put you in that space where she's gonna automatically, so you're gonna pay her rent and then you're gonna lose your shit. And then if she look at you and say, you can't come stay with me, it's been too soon, the automatic mindset is gonna be, well, it wasn't too soon for you to be asking me for rent money, asking me to help you with your rent and pay your bills. And that's the shit that happens. It's like, once we get engaged, now we're talking, remember, we're planning the wedding. Generally, people don't, the father of the bride is usually the person who's responsible for paying the wedding. But now, this modern mindset, pretty much the fiance, the male fiance, is usually the person who is going to do the bulk of the paying for the wedding. All right. So then, what you have is, you have that on your shoulder, you have that responsibility, and maybe y'all move in or whatever the case may be, plus you have the bills in the household or whatever the case may be. Alright? Whatever y'all come up with, or whatever the case may be, even if y'all separate or whatever the case may be, that's something that has to be discussed, not fucking 2-3 months after you get engaged, but literally not the day of and 2-3 days after, you know what I'm saying? But I would say within the first couple weeks. How are we moving forward? What are we going to do? What are your expectations of me? What are my expectations of you? And then once you get married, the world has changed, y'all. And we all know this. The world has changed. So once you get married, now it's really time for you to knuckle up, sit down, and actually figure out what your life is going to be. What is your responsibilities? This is called yoking. Alright? If I have a reliable person that is my wife, and I'm a reliable person that is her husband, then I never have to worry about these things being done. Of course, there's going to be things that pop up in which you will have a discussion and figure out what's the best route to go. But the minor things, like bills that we know are going to come every month, mortgages, rent, insurance, those things, duties around the house, all of those things are already mapped out. Alright? All of those things are already mapped out, So we know, because my wife is someone that I can depend on, that it's going to be done. And she knows vice versa, because she can depend on me. We never talk about yoked. You know why? Because we never talk about, like, roles are necessary, y'all. It is what it is. Rules are necessary in your own life. Part of the reason that nothing works nowadays is because there's no structure to it. You remove labels, you remove roles. All right? And then when you do that, it's nothing but chaos and anarchy within your relationship, within your home. Why would we ever think that that situation is sustainable? So in closing, y'all, all I'm saying is, whatever your relationship is, make that match your expectations. Because you're doomed if you don't. You're doomed if you don't, because if he's spoiling you like that early, he'll never be able to tell you no, and you understand. Show off.